Hey, what's going on Instagram? Peek out here in Singapore, and it's a beautiful Saturday morning. Sorry, it's not a Saturday morning, it's a Wednesday morning. It's Chinese New Year, Year of the Boar this year, and I'm really excited to be here. Really blessed today because I was able to reach out to a teacher of mine, Devin Lars, and he has been doing this for quite some time. So for him to be able to even teach us and offer classes as well as be humble enough to be approachable and talk to us, I think that's really amazing. So I am hoping that without further ado that we can have him on here and he can actually tell you a little bit about his journey and how he got to be where he is and so humble. So without further ado, I am excited to introduce Devin Lars of Curio. Hey, Devin.
Hey, hold on. My
Yeah.
screen is stuck.
No, it's okay.
Hold on. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Hold on.
Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us. I know it's kind of in Pacific Standard Time at the moment. Let me see. How are you guys doing?
All
Hi.
right, there we go.
Welcome back.
Finally. How you doing?
I'm good. It's actually kind of nice out. It's not super sunny and it's not super hot, so I'm excited to be outside at the
I,
moment.
I I hear that. What time is it there?
It is about 9:30 in the morning on Wednesday, so I live in the future.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Well, it's good to catch up. I'm glad we were able
I am
to
so
do this.
grateful. Really, I am very grateful because I know you have a lot going on recently. You had
Yeah.
warehouses and boxes and shipping and stuff like that going on. Do you want to tell us what all you got going on at the moment? Because you've been quiet
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
little bit, and then now suddenly there's a lot of business.
Yeah, I mean it's been crazy. I mean, for the holidays I kind of like to take a break and just kind of reflect on the year
Yeah.
and kind of like accomplishments, just kind of where I could be stronger at, just kind of what I want to do and kind of reassess going into the new year.
Okay.
And so I kind of like disconnected for that and kind of disappeared for a while. And then jumping into 2019, my team and I were just setting up, preparing for the year. And then like we just got bombarded. Usually January is slow. Usually
Seriously,
January
because
is
y'all
like,
look like you hit the ground running for real. Like,
no, we did, but
mhm.
usually this is not a regular. It's not a regular year.
Okay.
January usually is when you take vacations and you kind of just like kind of readjust.
Yeah.
But we got so much stuff that just got hit with us. We ended up so we have a contract with Nike. So
I
any
know.
type of like activations that they do in the Bay
Mhm.
Area, we do all of their like production and stuff. And so I got a call from them on like on the 6th, the first like working week of January.
Nice.
And they said, hey, we're putting together a campaign with the Warriors, and
Okay.
we're gonna do a arena takeover. So that's basically where they get all the branding inside of the arena, inside of Oracle, where the Warriors
Wow.
play.
Yeah.
And it was when the Lakers played them or whatever. And so
Aha.
it was
Nice.
like almost 24,000 shirts that we had to print.
Wow. No
And
wonder.
so yeah, we had about we had about a week and a half to get it all together, and our crew knocked it out.
Knocked it out.
So
Yeah,
it
I was
was
gonna say because
yeah,
you did it. I mean, it seems like everything
yeah,
is going the way you want it to.
it went good. It's funny with business, right? And just anything in life, it's always things that go wrong, and it's about like making adjustments.
Yes.
So, even the night before when we delivered, I think it's so important for people to share not just their wins, but also the challenges
Yes.
and stuff that they
That's
go
why I
through.
wanted to talk to you.
Yeah, so the brand director of Nike ended up reaching out at like the day when they were the day before the game. So we delivered on Wednesday. The game was on Saturday. They put all of the shirts on the chairs on Friday. And so Friday
Wow.
night, I got an email from him, and somehow there were some issues with some of the shirts, and it came with a bunch of like, it had some oil stains on the
Oh
shirts. And
no.
so I get this whole thread of like the people that I wanted to be introduced to and I wanted to talk to. And it
Hmm.
was just this like, it just caused an issue. And so I'm like, the first big order that we're doing with the Warriors and all that stuff, there was an issue. Um, but they ended up saying that they got it all situated and
Perfect.
got it worked out. But it was just like, you never want to make that first impression bad, but sometimes things are out of your control. And it
Out of
happened
your
to be the
control.
first box that they opened. So
Oh
it was
no.
just like, yeah,
But was it
it was a
just
headache.
contained within that first box? I'm hoping it wasn't
Yeah,
like
yeah. So I
everything.
mean, we did like 23,000 shirts, and it was about
Yeah.
72 shirts out of that
Okay.
23,000 that had like oil stains. So I don't know where it came from. I got to meet with my manufacturer and go over the stuff. But I think that's
Right.
just important to share with people that, even though there's just stuff that happens, and it's just about how you recover and what you do about it. And so I like emailed him right away. It was like at 10 o'clock at night, and I was just like, hey, what do we need to do to fix it? And so they ended up getting everything situated, but it was just
Uh,
like, it was just a stressful situation, but
I could
that's part of business.
imagine.
Things happen. Yeah.
But you know
But it was
what?
good. It went great.
Blessings, because that's a hell of a way to start the year, especially if it's not
Hmm.
usually the way you start your year. So hopefully it's like bigger and better from here on out. So that's amazing. I'm really excited for you.
Well, this is the crazy part, right? And I think this is
Yeah.
important for people that are on and just about like visualization, right? I always
Hmm.
talk about like having a vision, turning a vision and an idea into reality. And I just think it's so important to be able to have that scope of kind of like what you want to accomplish. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's like you don't know the detail. Most of the times you don't know the details of how it's going to all connect or how it's going to work.
Right.
But I was just telling my team literally that Friday that I was like, we need to close something big to start the momentum for January. We need to do something.
Hmm.
I swear to you.
You
And
just
then
said it
Monday
out
rolls
loud.
around, we're on the team call, and then I get that email. And so it was a really good, it was a really good reminder that when you try to do the right thing,
Yeah.
when you put out positive energy, when you like try to, you know, just help other people as well, things
You're
always end
doing
up
it for the
working
right
out.
reasons. Absolutely. I
100%.
really do believe that.
100%. And it's true. I mean, it's so factual. I mean, just the story of my life is just kind of showcase that. And yeah, it's just a great way to start the year. Our whole goal was to service more of our experiential marketing arm of our agency and being able to
Hmm.
add like to big events and stuff. So it just aligned perfect. It was a very a good January. Just put it that way.
I'm excited. That's amazing. That's really great. I met you kind of randomly, actually. I was looking for information. I was looking for someone to be able to teach me a little bit more about the t-shirt industry. Like I mentioned to you,
Hmm.
I've been sitting on the idea of starting my own brand for like 10 years. I didn't do anything. I didn't look into it. I
Yeah,
kind of just had ideas and I wrote them down in a book, and I still have the book actually, but I didn't
that's
actually put
awesome.
in any work until after your brand course, and you were
Hmm.
very gracious enough to answer anything that I ever messaged you about, and it was really about just putting in the work. So I was wondering if it's
Yeah,
okay with you, can we take it back a little ways? Like I've seen a lot
yeah.
of your videos on YouTube. You mentioned Richmond. Richmond where?
Hmm.
Which state?
Richmond, California.
Okay, got it. Because
Hmm.
I grew
So
up near Richmond,
Bay
Virginia,
Area.
so I just wanted to double check.
Oh, okay, yeah. Richmond, California, right outside, like 20 minutes, 15 minutes from San Francisco.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, came out of Richmond. Long story short, because there's a lot to
But
my
it's a
story,
good
but
story.
yeah. So I started in. So I never was like a good student, right? I didn't like school. Just wasn't my thing.
Okay.
I just didn't learn like that. I was like kind of a bad student, but just nothing like sparked my interest. And so,
Okay.
my senior year, my best friend graduated a year ahead of me,
Okay.
and it was my senior year. I wasn't like going to school. I just felt really lost. I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Okay.
It was like all the pressure of like graduating, and it was just I was just lost, hanging out with the wrong people, just doing stupid stuff. And
Yeah.
I remember my teacher called home and told my mom that I wasn't going to graduate if I failed
Wow.
her class or something like that. And so
Uh-huh.
she was done with me at this point, and she was just like, she was like, she was like literally like thinking about sending me to like boot camp or military
Oh
something.
man.
And my best friend, I remember he came to me and he said, "Yo, like you're messing up. You gotta do something different." And he told my mom, he was like, "Let me work with them before you do that, and let me see what I can do." And
Awesome.
so he started like airbrushing these model cars,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of times people will say like people will try to give you advice and don't give you solutions, right? They're like, you
Right.
just need to fix it, and it's like, well, what do
Well,
you want me
how?
to do? It's like, I
Uh-huh.
don't know, you fix it. And so he actually was like, this is what we can do. I'm airbrushing these cars. How about I want to start airbrushing like on T-shirts and stuff. He was like,
Yeah.
you could do the marketing for me, and um, you can. Matt,
Hello?
sorry, can you
Okay, you're
hear me?
back. Yeah, I can hear you. You
Okay,
there?
can you hear me?
Okay, yep, we're
Somebody
good.
kept calling me. Sorry.
It's all good.
Um, but yeah, so he was just like, hey, we could do this. We could, kind of start this business. And so I went to his house every day after school. I kind of like barely slid by in that class to make sure I passed.
Yeah.
Ended up graduating. We started our business. We started airbrushing T-shirts. We would do like marketing and like pass out flyers. We would put our cell phone numbers on the back of our hoodies and go pass them out. Like just
Awesome.
real guerrilla marketing. It was like
Yes.
before social media is the way that it is now, and so it was like
Yeah.
MySpace was like
I
the
remember.
platform. So yeah, we had like our top five, and we would pick our music and change our profile picture and stuff. And so
Yeah.
we thought we were cool, and I started in my grandfather's house,
Okay.
and we just like taught ourselves what business was, and just kind of like figured it out. And I was living with my grandfather. My grandfather was like very close to me. He
Yes.
was like one of the people that really believed in me. And so he let me start the business in his garage, and he ended up passing away one night and having a heart attack in my arms.
Oh my gosh.
And like it was traumatic. It was like 5 minutes I was talking to him, another 5 minutes like he was gone and literally said his last word. Like we had no idea
Oh,
what was
Devin.
going on.
Yeah.
And but looking back, it was like one of the best things that could have happened to me, because I always say it like it grew me up like 10 years, and it made me value life and not want to waste any time.
Yeah.
And so that's when I really got serious about stuff. And that was in 2000, that was the end of 2007, so it was around like the beginning of 2008.
Okay.
And so we ended up starting we ended up taking a class about screen printing. It was in
Okay.
2008 when Obama was first running, so we would print
Yay.
Obama shirts and use
Nice.
the school equipment to sell them, and sell it outside.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then after class was over, we got a call from one of the stores that we were selling to, and
Hmm.
we didn't have any money or access to any equipment, so we went down to Home Depot and built like a one color, one station press out of wooden clamps. And
I remember you
we
saying
dried
something
up.
about that though, because school was out of
Yeah,
session or something, so you didn't have access
yep.
to the equipment.
No access. And so that's why about like entrepreneurship, you have to be creative, right? Like
Yeah.
we knew that we didn't have any like money or resources, but we had to get creative. And so that was our creativity. We went down to Home Depot and we built this thing, and we dried our first run of shirts with a fireplace and
Yeah. I
and
remember the
got the
story.
job done. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So and then ever since that, we ended up pitching it to a whole bunch of people that we need to get some equipment, and
Right.
nobody like believed in us or wanted to give us any money. And then my mother actually said that I believe in you, and so she had a little bit of money from
Oh,
when my
that's
grandmother
awesome.
passed, and she invested in us. We turned our room into the office, and we just started to work. We got back to our roots of just like networking and going out to every single event, and just kind of built it from there, and just was all self-taught. Like we learned from just messing up and trying again, messing up and trying
So
again,
I
and it was
gotta
just
ask,
that
and this is
process.
something I'm learning as well. Like, I mean, yeah, I went through college and all that stuff, but I feel like I learned so much more about life in
Hmm.
mindset, motivation, all that stuff in general by just starting my own business, because suddenly it's like
Hmm.
I'm the end all. It ends
Hmm.
with me. I've got to be responsible. I mean, I'm a single mom. I have a little girl that I'm taking care of. So it's like a whole nother level of responsibility. But I
Yeah.
learned so much more just doing than I have ever
Yeah.
sitting in class and listening.
Yeah, I think I think people learn in different ways.
Yeah.
I think I don't knock school. Schools, I mean, especially if it's for a trade, like if it's something
Yeah.
that you need to be a doctor or a lawyer, like you have to. There's no getting
Yeah,
out of that.
absolutely. You got to know all that
I
stuff.
just think you got to. But I think that with me, it was always like I just learned by, like you said, doing, right? I needed to like touch things and mess things up and like mess it up on my own, because then I knew if, okay, that hurts. It's not like you failed the test. It's like, no, I lost money on this that actually affects
Right.
my pockets. So it's like, I'm
Right.
not going to do that again. So it's more so about um, trial and error for me, right? It's just about
Yeah.
like testing things out and working. And I think if you are a person that learns in the classroom and stuff like that, it's a matter of doing that, but then also taking action and testing stuff out. It's like two parts. You know, you have to be able to have
Absolutely.
that foundation, and then you also have to be able to have the hustle to be able to go out and like actually do stuff.
Right. And for me, it was more like, okay, I'm doing interviews all over the world. I need to manage my time better. And no one teaches time
Yeah.
management. I need to make sure that I'm
Hmm.
not spending in all the wrong places. No one teaches financial management at the age level that we should probably learn it. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's where I'm talking
100%.
about. Because I loved your course. You've been through it. You've done it. You're telling me what you know very well. And
Hmm.
from there, yeah, I need to sit and I need to listen. But at some point, I need to
Hmm.
get out and do and test all that to see if it works for me too.
That's what it is, you know. And I think it's like, so this is the thing, right? I can't go. So this is the thing where education comes into play, right?
Yeah.
Especially now utilizing technology and utilizing the internet and utilizing YouTube. I literally go to YouTube for every single thing that I need to
Me
learn.
too. There's no
And I
excuse
got
no
like,
more.
there's no excuse. Like if you need to change like fix a toilet, fix a flat tire, fix a roof, fix anything
Someone
you need to
somewhere has
know
a
is on YouTube.
tutorial.
You have to be resourceful, right? You have to
Yes.
be resourceful. Like I struggle when people like ask me about simple things that
Mhm.
they can problem solve. So I'm like, look, you have to learn how to figure this stuff out. Like go to YouTube, go to Google. Like we have the internet. Like we have
Yeah.
literally you can find a tutorial on anything that you need to know. And so like even how I put the whole course together, I had no idea how to put a course together, and like
But you
I didn't
did
even know
it.
if it was gonna work. But I went on YouTube and I tested it out and I looked at videos, and I got ADD, so I put the videos on times two, so they sound like a little chipmunk. But I'll listen to what I need to do and then I'll put it in action. I listen and put it in action. And you have to be resourceful like that. Even if you're not an entrepreneur, even if you're working for somebody,
In
you have to
general.
be able to 100% as a human being, you have to be able to figure things out and problem solve, because even if you are working for somebody, you're going to make yourself way more valuable by being resourceful and not being reliant on them. And it's going to move you up the ranks so much quicker. And people are going to keep you around. You're going to get raises. You're going to be able to do all that stuff. And I think it's just, it's such um, a vital key in order to be successful at anything is being resourceful and solution minded. If you see a problem, try to fix it. And
Right.
if you have a manager, if you have whatever that is, try to fix it before you go to them with the problem. Because if you're
Right.
always coming with those problems, you're just going to become a problem, and you're going to stay in the same situation. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so I
Right.
think that's one thing that I learned youngish. You know, I think I learned it when my business partner would always come up. I would always focus on the problem, right? I would like when
Right.
something went wrong, I would just focus on it.
Okay.
And he would always come up with solutions on how to fix it. And I just
Hmm.
remember he would always fix it. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, how are you fixing these problems? He's like, bro, literally as soon as something happens, you start dwelling on the problem. And that's all you think about. He was like,
Oh.
my mind goes straight to the solution. How are we going to get out of this? How are we going to
Right.
fix it? And I was just like, oh, that's interesting. And so I remember I tried it and it worked, and I never looked back. And that was like, when early 20s. And
Right.
so it was just like, it was such a valuable lesson. It's just saved me so much time and headache and being able to do this stuff, being able to work with clients like Nike and Cisco, and like all of that stuff matters. All of it
I am blown
being
away. I am blown
solution minded.
away. Exactly. And
So
I
that's,
think that's one of those
yeah,
things that are key for life in general. It's character building.
100%.
And you've
100%.
mentioned, when people come to you, you're happy to talk to everybody, but when people come
Yep.
to you looking for people that are going to act on whatever you've told them, not be like, all right, well, what next? And stop telling, you need someone to take action. And it's all in the
For sure.
execution.
Cause I can't, cause that's the thing. If you're going for mentorship or you're going for just like I'm busy, so I don't have like
Yeah.
all the time in the world. But if you show like you're actually going to take action and do stuff with this, I will give you the information and just, or at least point you in the right direction.
Yes.
And then it's like you figure out as I start seeing like, and that's what I'll usually do, right? So I'll give people like homework. So I'll be like,
Yeah.
call me at this time, or
Hmm.
or do this and this, and see if they're going to actually do that and follow through. But
Right.
if they're not, I can't like I can't hold your hand and walk you through the stuff. Like it's such a, sometimes people think that it's like there's there's like there's ways, like you have to put in the work. There's no cheat codes, there's no
No.
shortcuts, there's nothing. Like I had to go through it. I had to live in my shop. I had to like go through the 3-day notice. Like I've had to go through all this stuff where it's just like I don't know how I'm gonna make payroll. I don't know how I'm gonna eat. Like I've like there's no shortcut. You gotta put in the work, and you
Yeah.
gotta put in the work. That's just it. It's just it's
And I
just
got to
what it
say, there's
is.
something about that usually for some people will light a fire in their ass and you'll go it, you get it, you be on it every day. Like every morning you wake up,
Yeah.
okay, what do I need to get done today so I can make sure that, we eat, that we have money in the bank or
Hmm.
whatever. And some
Hmm.
people will get stuck and be like, oh my God, I better not do this. Let me go get a job and let me go do
Hmm.
something else.
Hmm.
So I understand
Which
that.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Entrepreneurship, I think it's so cool. Sorry, it's dark. It's like the
That's
sun
cool.
setting or whatever. But it's so cool and like trendy right now, but it's not for
Yeah.
everybody. You literally have to be mentally like different, like to go through this stuff and to take the fire and to be like everything falls on you. When you have a
Yeah.
team, it's your fault. It is your
Mm-hmm.
issue. It's your fault, no
Mm-hmm.
matter what happens, because you put that person in place and you
Yeah.
decided to do this. And it's like it's a lot of pressure, and some people just are like, I'd just rather go out on the weekends and do what I want. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And we live in a society now where people are like there's something wrong with that. It's not. I think it's just a matter of like figuring out what type of life works for
What
you
works
and
for
doing
you.
that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%. Like 100%. Like there's artists and there's just, I mean, that's the whole cool thing about life and like the diversity of people and like just, just the differences, the different perspectives, the different roles. Like I got people on my team that are just so much more like just way better at things than I am. And like, in a lot of ways, I'm good at a few
Right.
things. And it's like, I've learned as you build out your team, it's hard sometimes to delegate,
Yes.
but you have to do it in order to be successful. And it's all
Yes.
about teamwork. Like I need to focus my time on the things that nobody can duplicate, and
Right.
and 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 put somebody in power where my strength, like that's not my strength. So
Right.
you find somebody that's a ninja at that and put them in place and empower to win.
Exactly. And I think more people need to understand that, yeah, you can't have yes men around you. It would be nice. I
Hmm.
mean, my ego would feel
Hmm.
good, but I'm not going to get anywhere for very long. So, yes, I'm
Yeah.
glad that you said it out loud. You've got experts around you doing the things
Yeah.
that you would rather not be focusing on because that's not your niche. You do what you do best,
Hmm.
and then everybody else
Hmm.
handles it. I know
Hmm.
you mentioned that you did have your own workshop space where you were printing everything, but you moved away from that a little bit because
Hmm.
that was not where you
Hmm.
wanted to be. How did you make that
Hmm.
decision even? How were you brave enough to change
Oh
directions?
man, it was tough. It was tough, but it was one of the best decisions I've made in my life. Um, it was, so what happened is that let me see if I get more light over here.
Sure.
It's freezing out here.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
So
sorry.
no, you're good. You're good. So what happened is I was yeah, we've had our manufacturing facility for hold on, I'm making a whole
Sure.
bunch of noise. Shut up. So we had our manufacturing facility for over, oh my God, how long was it? We got our first facility out of the house in 2000. What year was that? 2000, 2008, I guess we
Okay.
started in the house.
Okay.
And it was just, it's so hard doing the manufacturing, right? It's like it's a whole
Yeah.
separate business. And my thing was like I was always good at the front end sales. I was
Okay.
always good at the sales, marketing, and the manufacturing took so much time that I couldn't focus on that.
Right.
Because I was like having to problem solve and figure out why these shirts got messed up and like just doing all this stuff. And so
Whereas you like the network portion of
I
that
love that
instead.
part and I'm good
Yeah.
at that part, right? And so,
Yeah.
like I said, the self-awareness and figuring out what you're good at. And so
Yes.
what we ended up doing is, we had a big shop. I mean, we had automatic presses. I put literally set the whole thing up. We ran gas lines, we ran electrical, we ran
Wow.
like it was
That was major.
crazy on what we did. It was major, and it was like
Yeah.
I'm in my 20s. I'm like I didn't know I had done this before. I'm just like figuring it out as I go.
But look at
But
you.
the
Yeah.
thing is,
You figure it out.
yeah, you figure it out. And so it took like 3 years. I got to a point where I just hated it. I just
Yeah.
hated I started not feeling like I started getting anxiety in the morning. Like I would wake up and get anxiety and I was just like, I just don't
Oh.
like this and I don't want to be here. And it wasn't fair to my team, my production staff that I
Yeah.
had, my production manager. Like it just wasn't fair. And so we ended up selling the space and I just wanted out. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just want to get out. Like I sold it for literally, it's crazy what I sold it for. But I was just like, I don't care. It's not about the money. I just rather like
Right.
I will start over and
It was
I want to
quality of
get
life.
done with this. Yeah, it
Okay.
was done. And so that was in 2017. And then we partnered with a large shop, and
Okay.
we entered a partnership and we just said, hey, look, you guys have been in the industry for over 20 years. You guys have a large
Yeah.
shop. You guys know what you're doing. I got the front end sales marketing. Let's come together and we could form a partnership. And so that's what we did. And so now they take care of the production.
Hmm.
And then I deal with like, the sales and marketing side of things. So it's just worked. It's been, if we had to do that Nike order, we couldn't have produced that in house. It would have
Right.
killed us. It would have killed us because it was front and back. So it was
Yeah.
about 50,000 prints in a week and a half. And so they were running two big presses,
Right.
from 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day.
And you said you only had a
So
week turnaround anyway, right? So
we got it a week and a half late. So we were
yeah.
supposed to have like 2.5 weeks, but
Okay.
something always goes wrong and you just got to adjust and figure it out. So, but that it was challenging. It was, even when I got rid of the manufacturing, the day that I got rid of it, it was hard. I started second guessing myself. I was like, was that the
Right.
right decision?
Because that's a
Should I have
major
done that?
decision. Yeah.
That was my only, that's all I knew for 9 years was
Wow.
manufacturing, right? I like,
Right.
and it was a weird adjustment. So we went through like, the rest of 2017 was super weird. And then the end of 2017, we moved from our office in Union City and we moved down to Oakland. And
Okay.
then we like completely restructured kind of like how we were. We were like a print house, right? So we were like screen
Yeah.
printing, embroidery, and it was called D&D Designs and Screen Printing. But
Yeah.
I realized we were like limiting ourselves. I'm like, we're way more than a screen printing company. Like we're an actual agency.
Yeah.
And so we decided to rebrand. We started a new LLC called Curio Media. So it
I was
just
going to ask
allowed us
about
to
that.
do like, yeah. So we did that in 2016. Yeah, we did that in 2016. And
Okay.
then so the end of 2016, we formed an LLC. I just went and got the name. And then in 2017, we were getting like winding down to get rid of the shop. And then finally, I
Okay.
think it was like in April or
Hmm.
May. I think it was May
Hmm.
1st of 2017. Yeah, we closed the shop down, or we sold the shop, and we formed our partnership with the other guys, and the rest is history. It was tough. It was
Wow.
challenging. It was weird to go through that. It was something I always wanted to do, but it was like I had to take my own advice, right? I was like
Yeah.
talking about all this stuff that I wanted to do, and how you need to, like, if you're not loving it anymore, then you need to do something else. And so
Yeah.
it was just interesting. It was just interesting to go through that.
Okay.
But it was good. It was definitely worth it.
Hmm.
I just feel so much better. I feel like now I'm able to do like the videos. You know what I mean? Like do the
Yeah.
YouTube videos and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And that's my goal. That was one of my goals for my bad, I keep jumping around. That
It's
was my
okay. It's
goal
cold.
for
I'm sorry.
yeah, it's all good. That's one of my goals for 2019 was just putting
Okay.
out more content, right? Like
Yeah.
I just really want to be able to provide my audience value and like just be able to just put out the content, even though I know like literally 99% of people probably won't do anything with it, aren't going to do anything with the information. But for that 1% that is,
Yeah.
that's for them.
I'm
And I
grateful.
just
I'm
know,
very grateful.
yeah, see, and it's just like, I love getting the messages and seeing the stuff when you sent me the shirt, like that was
Yeah.
super dope of like
Thank
being
you.
able to see that process and stuff. And so like, I just, that's my goal for this thing is just like, working with these companies, documenting the entire process. I'm going to do more
Yeah.
behind the scenes. So you see like internal stuff and like meetings and see the rest of my team and like all of that stuff. So that's going to be like a real focus of mine this year.
Awesome. And I really want to give you props because if you hadn't started off with the printing, the process itself, I don't think
Yeah.
you would have known how to approach your third party, your partner now,
Yep.
and then realize that you don't really like that aspect of it and focus on where you do.
Hmm.
Like people don't understand. Try everything and see where you
Hmm.
really love what what
Hmm.
you're doing, and then go forth and conquer basically.
I, I agree
So
1,000%. Like I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything about it. Like I'm glad I went through it, but that's the thing in my 20s, I'm 31 now. And in my 20s, all throughout my 20s, I was just testing out stuff to see what I liked. I was doing videos, I was
yeah,
doing clothing stuff, I was screen printing, I was like doing all this stuff, and everybody was like, "Man, you need to focus on one thing." I'm like, "I'm not listening to you. Like, you do what you're doing. I'm trying to figure
I
out
think
what
the
I need
20s are
to
good for
do and
that
what I
though.
like."
Try everything.
A
Yeah.
100%, 100%, 100%. I needed that to be able to test it out. And that's how I know where I am today. And that's how I know what I like. That's how I know I'm able to see where my skill set is. It's because I tested it out and I took that time to learn and mess up. And I just, I mean, I can't even explain the half of the stuff that I had to go through to like just
We'll
get
keep
to this
watching your
point.
YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know,
Yeah, yeah,
please
I
go
got,
search Devin Lars on
yeah.
YouTube. He's coming out with lots of it's a lot of content lately, so I'm excited. I'm very excited for you. And the
Yeah, we
course, you
got way
guys,
more.
if you haven't checked out, the course is on Teachable. Yes, you need to pay for it, but it's worth it, totally worth it, because he has everyone's point of view on there. Not everyone is going to let you
Yeah.
into their inner circle and let the designer talk to you a little bit and let
Hmm.
every piece of the team say a little something, so you know that this is what it takes. It's not just a
Yep.
one-man show. You need people
It's
around
not.
you.
And I got a free, so what I did is because I really wanted to provide like, because I know how it is just like starting up and not having funds to be able to do stuff. So I uploaded a free course on my YouTube channel of like for
Okay.
people just beginning, like just starting, where it
Yeah.
has like print on demand, how to set up your online store, the real basics to at least get up and running to start
Yeah.
testing it out. Um, because again, like I said, I want to provide. I really want to provide people with as much value as possible, and like where we're getting our money from is doing working with working with Nike and
Yeah.
working with the other stuff. And so like I just I'm excited about it. I'm super excited to like share this journey, and just the
I
comments and
am
messages
proud.
that I've
Look at
been
how
getting
much
is
you've
crazy.
accomplished. You said you're
Yeah.
only 31. Look how much you've accomplished so
Yep.
far, and it's not the traditional route, but that's why. You weren't stuck in
Yeah.
a job and then having to do this on the side. You were doing this the whole time, and
Yeah.
it's amazing how much time is freed up when you don't have to worry about that other stuff.
Well, and the thing is too, I think
It's
it's a
scary as
unique.
hell, but yeah.
Oh, it's scary as hell. Like it's lonely. Nobody understands. I
Yeah.
remember like in my 20s, everybody would like clown me and be like, they're trying to go out to the club and all this stuff, and I'm like, I'm in here trying to learn business words, and they're like
Yeah.
clowning me, calling me John McCain, and like all my like,
Really?
it was just like, yeah, just like I'm like, I literally did not care. Like it did not affect me. I'm like, I
Good.
did not waver from what I was trying to do, and
Good.
doing everything different has like always. I wanted to represent something positive and like all this stuff, and like we were going through an era where nobody was like on that type of stuff. And
Yeah.
I just remember the closest people to me was like, man, ain't nobody trying to hear that positive stuff. And I never wavered. I'm like, this is
Uh-huh.
what I'm doing and this is where I'm at. And so it's weird seeing this whole wave of like all these like, it's just weird seeing the whole wave of this
They
because I
finally
was
catching
looking at
up.
like, yeah, old Facebook posts from like 2012. And I'm like putting quotes and
You've
doing like
been
all this,
saying
like
this.
people weren't doing that stuff. It wasn't like it wasn't like trendy or a cool thing to do. So it's just interesting. So that's why I tell people just be yourself, and
Yeah.
sometimes you need the world to catch up to you. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're
Yep.
like, you have that vision and it takes time for the world to catch up to how you see things and your point of view. But if you don't waver and you stay true to who you are, you're going to last a long time. But if you're always trying to play to what's popular, it's just not going to work.
I hear you. I love it because, yeah, I had this idea, t-shirts. It sounds great, but I don't know what I don't know. So when I went through your course and I started hearing terminology, I was like, dang, okay, what is that? I need to go figure out what that is. So I need to, know how that works for me. And it's different because in the US, everything's basically set up. I'm in Asia and some things are not available here. So now I got to go back to the drawing board and, hit the streets and figure out who I can work with. So luckily for me, Asia, meaning there's a lot of people who will print for you, but I got to find the right partner. So I was lucky enough to do that.
That's true.
But it's because of people like you that are paving the way and then teaching as well that I feel confident enough to be able to come to, a print shop and go talk to them in their language, basically, and let them know that I'm serious and I'm not like just, I'm not looking to make family reunion t-shirts just one time. It's like, this is going to be a process. I want to build a relationship.
And that's what I wanted to empower, because that was the thing. That was the whole reason why I came up with the course, because so many, I can't even tell you how many people came to me like, I want to start my brand. What do I need to do? And I was just repeating the same stuff over and over and over. I'm like, why don't I just automate this and like show the whole process? Like, you'll get way more if I do this, and then I can train you versus like the other stuff. And so it was just, it's cool to like talk about contract pricing. And so now and you understand when you go to the shops and like, you know what I mean? Like that's like, that's tight to me. I love that part. I'm just excited. I'm, even just having the opportunity, it's just so crazy. Like we're just technology. Like we're sitting on IG Live and we got people watching
on
us
opposite ends of the world.
Technology. Yeah. Like what? Like you're I'm still stuck in Tuesday. You're on Wednesday already. Like that is
I'm in
so
Singapore,
crazy. That's insane. Like it's 9 a.m. the next day. You know what I mean? And it's dark here. And so it's just like utilize technology. Like this did not exist when we were coming up. Like this, like it was completely different. And so there's so many resources. And I think that sometimes it's so easy if you have so many different resources. It's like it creates a inability to make a decision. Yeah. But you just have to do. Like you just have to like pick something and go. It's all about action. Like it's all about movement, action, doing things, testing it out, trying. If one thing doesn't work, go to the next thing. And there's now this is the thing though. It's a fine line between like you have to stick with something and not just give up too quickly. And then you have to like
That's true.
So there's a balance, and I don't know the secret answer to what it is. You need to go what feels right to you and just rely on that, because a lot of times your gut won't lie to you.
No, it won't.
You may want to ignore it. You may want to be like try to talk yourself out of it, but deep inside like you need to listen to it. Yeah.
Well, Devin, I'm not going to hold you much longer. Thank you so much. This has been amazing.
Of course,
great conversation. Lots of information in here. Please go check the replay. And if, with your permission, I'm going to post this on YouTube and on Facebook as well and tag you so that everybody can get access to it.
What I'll do is I didn't know it was a Facebook Live, so like Nick sent you an email. I thought it was a call or something. So I could have posted it. This is my first time even doing a live.
No, that's cool.
So even if even if you want to do a follow-up one, I could even post it. I would
love that.
Start doing more of this and stuff like that. So we could coordinate it and we'll do that.
Yes, please. I would be so grateful. That'd be awesome. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
You go ahead. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy. You're already in the future. So, all right. Well, I appreciate the call, and
anytime.
we will talk soon.
Yes, sir. You
all
take
right,
care.
Have a good day.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.